Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Dana, I don't think that's a very good thing. So, Dana, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm a little frightened that you shared that I'm on the big TV. I was just FaceTiming with Hattie and the kids and told them that I had to go because I had to do my live, but that they could watch me on YouTube or Facebook. So I might be big at their house too. I don't know. But I'm pretty excited for Taco Tuesday today. Although I have to admit, I don't know that it's going to go exactly the way I thought it might. I don't know. And that'll make sense, I think, as we get going, or maybe it won't, and we'll just say, well, it's Taco Tuesdays. What's the most important part about that? I don't know. Um, anyway, I'm going to switch the camera off of me and show you what I think we have. Okay, so first, I wanted to show you that the May calendar is finished. And I know it's not quite May yet, or it's not quite May yet. We're up here still, or yeah, we're up here still. But I had to get this done because it's going to come up fast and there is so much going on, right? So this is next week, right? Next week, the new catalog goes live on Tuesday. So I'm going to do my Facebook Live, my YouTube Live on Monday instead. So that's when the class to go will happen. And that ordering special will go through Friday. And then on Saturday, all day Saturday, we'll have a new catalog launch like we did for the mini catalog. We're doing that for the big catalog, and there'll be live streams throughout the day, and there'll be games and prizes and just lots of fun with that. The team Zoom is Tuesday night. Every Tuesday evening, I do something. I do a live stream or I Zoom with my team, and it's the second Tuesday of the month is when we Zoom together. All right. This card club here does not mean that club is meeting. We are not meeting in person in May. It's just not possible with my travel schedule. So they will ship out by May the 15th, that Monday. And this month, the club is all about the new in colors, the 5 new in colors. Um, and then Wednesday, after I get back, we'll do another class to go with a special that goes through Saturday. Whew. There's no birthday class this month. Um, that we skip May and we meet again in June. Now there may be some bonus classes that pop up that are pretty much already prepped for, but it looks a little different. So that's what's happening in May. Now I want to show you the samples that I've made and tell you that this is not necessarily exactly what your kit will look like. And I'll explain that in just a second. So like these are actually part of the same card, right? So there's always 3 cards and you make 2 of each. Well, this time, instead of making 2 exactly the same, you're going to make 2 that have the same components, but they're a little bit, I don't know, they're just different. Okay, so you'll have a basic white base, and then you'll have some designer series paper to cover the whole front, and then you'll have something to 2 layers there. Um, and these are 2 of the options. Then I made this holy guacamole. This is a um, floating frame, floating something or other. And we're going to make the other half of this in today, right? And that'll you'll understand that in a second. Basically, we cut out a circle here, and now one card that you make will use the frame, and one part will use the circle that we cut out, right? So, and then the third card we haven't completely made yet. So that's what we're going to do. And I think that where shall we start? Let's start with the floating frame because that one is actually probably has potential to take up the most time. So I'm going to set this card over here, and then I want to show you how to create that that frame. And once you have that part down, the rest of it is a piece of cake. So now my grid paper is on the centimeter side. That part is important. My window sheet, can you see that, is 3 by 3. Okay. Um, and then I have strips of Parakeet Party, Poppy Parade, and Daffodil Delight that are quarter of an inch by about 3 1/4. I want them to hang over a little bit to give me sort of a handle. All right, and then I'm going to lay these out right here in my pattern. That one feels, and I know that I think I need one more green. I think that will be enough. Now, I'm going to take my Tombow glue, and I keep mine point down for storing it, and I'm going to even tap it a little bit to make sure I get the glue at the bottom. If you can see it, you have enough glue. Okay. If I let this dry just a little bit and get tacky, it has the potential to make even less mess. So that is why I'm putting the glue on all of them at one time. All right. A lot of potential for sticky here. And I'm going to hopefully keep my head out of this. So my window sheet, I like this, this color form here. I've got this marked so that I have one block in the blue and the rest are in the green. And I think that will help me keep it straight. So this first one, I am going to lie down at the top edge, okay? And this is the hardest one for me, and I don't want to be messing around with it. So y'all bear with me, because once I have this one in place, the others will be fine. Okay. Okay, so now the next one, this is why you need to be on the centimeter side, because then I can use each grid line and keep it even. If you slide this around, you'll get glue on that acetate. You don't want glue on your acetate because you can't get it back off. That one, okay, I'm just going to go with it. But I'm just using the grid paper for each strip, not really mashing it down because I don't want any glue on any of the spots where the strip is not. Looks like I'm going to need one more. Yep, I'm going to need one more, and it should be yellow. So I don't know if you placed an order on the free shipping day or not, but those orders are not going to be shipped out anytime soon unless you expedited. And I did not expedite my order. And that was not my best choice because I need some of that order to get my class kits ready for this week. So, so I have a problem, but it is what it is. All right, so now I have this made on the acetate sheet and it needs to dry, okay? You can see there's not a whole lot of white showing and it's hard to tell because those colors are light. But I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And in the magic of I almost prepared for this, I have one that is already complete. Oh, how about that? Now I need to trim. Oh my gosh, I have a dimensional back. I need to trim this even. So I'm not worried about the part. This green hangs off the acetate. You can see that's fine. It's really only the edges, the horizontal edges that I'm worried about. There's a, I keep hearing a ding like a message coming in, maybe on Greg's iPad. I don't know why so many would be coming in. Oh, goodness. See, and acetate takes a long time to dry. I thought this would have had plenty of time to dry, but these little guys are still moving. Okay, so now I've cut it flush. I cut those strips flush to the left and the right edges. And now I'm using the stylish shapes. So it's the third from the largest circle from the stylish shapes. Okay, so it's this third largest. And I'm going to die cut that out and pretty much just lay that on those edges. So I'm going to pull up my little machine. Okay, and my plates are really well loved. I use this machine a lot. So this window sheet takes a bit to cut through. So I am using the actual number one, the cutting plate. Most of my die cutting with this machine, I use the gray plate, which is not as thick, but I know that the acetate takes a bit to go through. I keep calling it acetate. I think it's acetate. It's in the catalog, it is a window sheet, but it is an acetate material. How about that? All right. Now, and when I'm die cutting, I typically don't do this on my grid paper. I want that on the desk surface itself. So go back and forth a few times when you're working with your window sheet. I can put this away. Okay, and then, okay, so that just fell off. We'll put that away. Okay, so, but you can see they didn't just pop right apart. They might need some coaxing. So I'm just gently going to kind of pop this loose by applying pressure on both sides. Now I've got a piece there that acts like it might need scissors. So I'm just going to go around and come back to it. Yeah, I've got a couple of places that might needed to go back around. Might have needed another trip through, and they're mostly on this side. Okay, there that goes. So just by bending that back and forth, some of it released. But a couple of places, if you need to take your paper snips to it, then you can. I think since I already have one done, I guess I got lucky that the first one I didn't get stuck like this. Now that new take your pick tool attachment with the blade would be quite handy right here. There we go. Yeah, I'm just working my fingernail now. I just snipped in that one little place. There we go. Okay, so you get the idea. I've got one little more place that I'm going to have to snip, but since I don't need it for the card because that part's already done through the magic of, video, I'm going to stop messing with this so that we can spend our time better. Okay, but you end up with two pieces. You end up with the frame and the circle. And so for the frame, I stamped, and there'll be photos, so you'll get a better look at this than the lighting wants to give us today. I stamped inside my circle on the basic white layer, and then I stamped the little guacamole bowl separate, and then put them together. I used foam sheets for that. So this time with the circle, we're still going to use foam sheets, foam strips, I'm sorry. And these are a little taller than dimensionals. So when I put the little bowl of guacamole on this, I actually put 2 dimensionals behind it so that it would be tall enough. These strips they come very long, and then I just trimmed a section of it off so that it would be the right length for this. I like working with the foam. I think it's pretty fun. And I'm not going to try and put a little, I don't think I'm going to put a little piece down there. This will certainly hold it. Okay. Then, bear with me a second. I don't know why that doesn't want to do for me. Oh my gosh. All right, so here's our little guy. Here is our card front and then our card base. And the card base needs to be scored really well. My parents' house closed on Friday morning. So we have new neighbors that are in the process of moving in. All right, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this like so. And then we're going to stamp the little confetti. I have stuff on all of my blocks. Um, where's the little confetti? So here is the stamp set. This was designed by Erica Serwin. That's the one I need. Figure out where it is. Oh, sorry, here. Okay, so I'm going to stamp in Daffodil Delight kind of around the circle. In Daffodil Delight. Did I say that already? See, I'm telling you, this is kind of different doing cards that complement rather than the exact same card. So oh, sorry, my head just got in the way there. Oh my gosh, that was not a full stamp. You know what? I'm going to turn it over because that just didn't do well at all. That's the beauty of cardstock that has two sides. And I just stuck my thumb in the Daffodil Delight. So that was special. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I'm going to do one that'll be kind of hidden there. Okay, that works well enough. And then we're going to put a greeting down at the bottom. And I stamped this time in basic gray. You know, I usually stamp in Memento black, but I decided to use gray today instead. And we're going to stamp your nacho average friend. How cute is that? And so I did stamp, you know, I always, not always, but for my greetings especially, I like to see where they are. And by stamping before I peel the backing off and put them on here, I stamp over there, and that helps me out in finding in which greetings that I need to look for. I'm really not sure that made any sense at all. And I should stamp it right side up. I'm just kind of having that day, huh? There we go. Your nacho average friend. I like puns. In fact, this weekend I was with some friends, and some of us have grandchildren or small children in our lives, and man, don't they love jokes? And they're so funny with that. Um, and I had thought, well, maybe I'll remember one of those puns and can share it with you, but no, that would be wrong. All right, so I have stamped a couple of things ahead of time for us to color. Now, I can't send you stamped images with your kit, so I send you blank paper so that you can stamp anything that you need to stamp and cut out. I also loaded, I don't know, a lot of tutorials this weekend, so you can shop. If there are classes that you didn't attend that you'd like the instructions for, you can visit michellesalcho.com and load up on the tutorials. Oh my gosh, I got his eye all wonky. Oh, he looks frightening. So we're going to stamp him again if I can find. I pressed down too hard. You have to be careful with the little faces. Don't press too hard. much better. The first one looks like he has a black eye. Fussy cutting is not the end of the world. All right, I have Poppy Parade, and my light Poppy Parade is broken. So I'll probably have to put it back together. I looked to see if I had a replacement here, and I don't. So it is what it is. I do dark first and then light. That is not necessarily the right way. The right way is whatever way you like to do. Okay, so yes, they came apart because there's a crack right there. So I'm going to pull this back out and put it in here. So I've done a little surgery on my blends this morning. And I'm just going back over the dark and coloring close to the edge, but I don't have to go right up to it. Now, if you put enough layers of color down, you won't see marker streaks. So if you see marker streaks in your coloring, then add some more color to avoid that. Then I've got Granny Apple Green for my guacamole. And I'm just using the artist lines. Pretty much to color that. Most of these images are pretty small, so your coloring doesn't have a lot of shading associated with it. And then for the nachos, I have Daffodil Delight, light and dark. And I'm just making some dark dots. And then I'm going to come in with our mail ran super early today, so I've got to run to the post office and drop off some packages that didn't make it out there fast enough. And now we just cut these out really quickly. It's not hard to cut them out. Keep your scissors in place and use your other hand to turn the paper as you cut. So your kit will have the supplies to make one with the frame and one with the circle. And I toyed with the idea of making 2 frames and 2 circles, but ultimately there were so many fun samples that I saw and had to choose from that ultimately I decided not. And yes, they bleed through, which is why we don't stamp and color like on the card base itself. So I don't want you to open the card and see my coloring through it. And I'm just getting that out of the way. I'm leaving a little white edge around. Ideally, it's even, but it's not always. And I'm just going to look to see on the sample if she cut these apart. And she did not. And I would tell you who she is, but I can't. This might be Meg Lovin. And they've decided to come cut the grass across the street. The German Shepherds are gone. They moved out Sunday. I know nothing other than that. My Mrs. Kravitz tendencies are, okay, here we go. I'm very curious. I admit to being very, very curious. Okay. All right. Okay, this is not good when my first card takes us over 30 minutes. I don't like that. And I would like my stripes to be relatively horizontal. Okay, there's the guacamole. Now we'll do some minis on the nachos, right? Oh my gosh, pick up, pick up. That one. May have to, let's see. Put that pretty much in the center. Okay, how cute. Now you could put this up on dimensionals or you could do it flush to your card base if you can't find your adhesive. However, that's not necessarily an option. There we go. So that is card 1A and card 1B. How about that? Now, for the second card, I wanted to show you something that you can do when you have like 3-inch cards. I do a lot of cards like this that I send out with my class kits and orders. So this is just a 3x6 card and it's scored at 3. So it's awesome for little things like that, but you can also do things with this little 3-inch square on your regular size card. And that's what I decided to show you next. So that's how this and this came to be. Now, in this case, the white on both cards is 2 3/4. So yes, this square is a little smaller than this one because the red is 3 inches square, the white is 2 3/4, the white is 2 3/4, and then the blue is 2.5. So a little bit smaller there. But this is the in color DSP that I cut 4 1/4 by 5.5 to make these cards. And I thought I would just make, I was just going to show you how I did this one. No, not doing that one. I'm doing one like this. I'm going to do another example of this size where the red is 3. So my designer series paper is the same. It is already cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5, which is the same as my card base. And then I'm just lining that up flush and hopefully have a bone folder so I can fold it down. So that is Tahitian Tide. And then I wanted to do some different characters for this one. So let me see what some of the ideas were. Okay, yeah, this is super cute. All right, so we're gonna stamp the little cactus. Right? I think he's too cute. And we'll go ahead and stamp him again in basic gray, and then we'll color him. Or will at least give you the idea of where to go. The greeting is here. Put this back. I'll pick it up there. And then the other piece we're actually going to cut out from the ones on my scratch sheet. I thought I might have some of those colored before we started, but that didn't happen. Do you do that? Do you overestimate what you're going to get done? That can't be just me. Put the little mustache face on this guy, and I'm going to do the hat, the little sombrero too. And give him, oops, sorry guys. Give him a little friendly face, and then okay, so I'm going to need to add Tahitian Tide and crumb cake I already have out. Okay, Tahitian Tide I need. And that's for the little sombrero. And crumb cake. And red. And that is a rush coloring job if ever you saw it. And I didn't even try to blend because that's really small. And I'm going to come really tight in on the sombrero because I don't necessarily want the white to show where it hits the taco. I want it to look as if it's just part of the taco. The taco will do. We'll let his mustache give a shadow, right? Same principle in that I'm going back to my dark color and blending it. If you wait too long and that dries, it won't blend well for you. And sometimes that's what you want too. You want the contrast. So okay, and then we'll do some red and green Or maybe this is all just lettuce that's poking out. And I just have the light granny apple green here. There really are so many samples made with this set that it's so hard to decide what we would make. So fussy cutting and coloring in the same class, that takes up a little bit of time. And that was why I could have probably skipped doing this card and just shared examples. And then we'll color this little guy with light and dark granny apple green. But these little 3x3 squares, you can do so many different things with them. Like I did that flower on my thank you. And here we are doing it. You know, these images are kind of small, so it's a great way to work with small images on a larger piece. Okay, let's put him here. There. And then I'll pop this on dimensionals on this one. I love the edges for this purpose. It'd be nice to put it on the right way. Okay, now let's see what else we want to do. We're going to put the taco down. And that's one big dimensional, so that will be fine. And we'll put it, oh, about like so. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the hat, the sombrero, and stick it down right there. How cute is that? So, so cute. Okay, so one of your cards, okay, you'll have different colors to make, but lots of ideas for how to decorate that little 2 3/4 inch square, right? And put it together. And you could add bling as well. On this one, I added the in color dots and a little bit of twine. And on this one, I added a little bit of linen thread. And on this one, I haven't done anything yet. Okay, so that's card number 2. And again, you're not making 2 identical cards until you get to the last one. And the last one, the way I see it, I think that these little guys look, they look like they're surrendering, right? Hands in the air. So I thought it was kind of fun to give them, oh, come on, to give them the two different faces. Right, so those are, of course, cut from the stitched stylish shapes. I'm sorry, that's the wrong end of my marker. And I love this little cactus. I think he's too cute. And the card that inspired this was a slimline card. And so I'm not entirely sure, since I don't have my sample made, how this is going to turn out. I think it's going to be fine. All right, then I don't think it would make any difference if I stamped their face after I colored. So, so don't feel like you have to do it this way. And like I said, a lot of people color the light first and then come back and add the dark. It doesn't matter. You can get a slightly different look, but the most important part is to do what you're comfortable with. And I thought I would stamp something to create a background on the card front. Might need to buy a new Granny Apple Green too. All right, there's the three of them. Now what we might do is add a little pool party just to kind of ground them. And maybe I should use a gray instead. Okay, so smoky slate. That way they don't look so much like they're just floating. And you can take your color lifter and kind of blend that a little bit if you want to. That's up to you. And this is the way I see it, with the three of them, and then heat emboss a greeting on it. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to do to it. Yeah, I think I am going to take this little background. Okay. Okay, in Granny Apple Green, I'm just going to create kind of a random background. Backgrounds are fun. You could also do a layer of Granny Apple Green and use an embossing folder to create kind of a tone-on-tone background as well. Because when you're working with a smallish stamp like this, it takes a little while to cover it. I mean, you can see there's nothing magical about what I'm doing. And just looking at my greetings over here. Okay, just gonna set that over there and then put these little guys in place. I'm gonna need some more dimensionals. I think these little guys are kind of cute. We will add some sort of greeting. I had in my head it was going to be a birthday, so now I'm kind of stumped because there's really, unless I do holy guacamole, it's your birthday, which I can do. Okay, I think they're stinking cute. All right, we can do, if we can find it, we can do it, right? Holy guacamole, and it fits there. All right, let's grab the Versamark. And the white embossing powder. The embossing buddy would have been a good idea, especially on the black. My heat tool is right here. Which, you know, using holy guacamole, it's your birthday, maybe that doesn't make sense when it's a cactus. Where do we like that there? or you could come under them. I don't know. What do you all think? That's just long to me. Did I put it? No. Okay. We're going to change this and do, we're going to do this one instead. You spice up my life because I can make it thinner, and I think I would like thinner better. Come on. Oh, hold on. Dana's got a good idea. She says the hat and add the notes from the. Yes, I like that. Okay, I may have to make another sample with that. Don't think I'll take the time to do it now because we are right at an hour, which is longer than I like to go. But yes, we could add hats to them, or one of them. Now I got to play with it. I'm not liking this at all. Okay, I'm going to keep playing with this one, and then I will post some samples this afternoon on the blog post and see if I can make some room to show you what the others are that we made. But something along those lines with him. And then we have these three that are all kind of one, right? And then we have this one and this one. All right. Thanks so much for being here for Taco Tuesday. Now I hope I've made you hungry. You have to go out and have tacos for lunch, right? Or is that just me? Um, have a great week, everybody. Remember, next week I'll see you on Monday and then again on Saturday for the new catalog launch. And I've moved my button. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.